What's crack-a-lackin' YouTube? That's about what I got left of my pipe tobacco, and it's not a whole lot, but it's enough to get me through until I get more. It's black cherry flavored. Looks like some fireworks going off. Anyways, YouTube, if you want some tips on picking up a girlfriend, the first tip is don't look. Wait for the right opportunity. Waiting for the right opportunity, it's like a king cobra waiting for the right moment to strike. And if the king cobra is striking in self-defense, the king cobra needs that strike to be efficient. And love is no different in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Cobras generally don't waste their venom if they can help it, so why waste your time looking for love in all the wrong places? Yeah. Second thing, don't be afraid to be yourself. I got people on Facebook telling me I need to cut my hair and stop wearing rings and spikes because it makes me look like I'm 13 or whatever, and it's just like, there are plenty of adults out there who dress goth, and if people think of that as a childish thing, then they need to grow the fuck up, because this whole mentality that goth is just a phase, and for some people, yes, goth is a phase. Some people go through it, some people grow out of it, and for some people they like who it is, what it is, that sort of thing. For some people, it's just who they are as people, and I might get a lot of strange looks for the way I dress, but I'm a hard worker, I'm a productive member of society, and you wouldn't guess that if you judged me based off of my exterior. But looks can be deceiving. Now, women treat you a lot differently when they think you're not looking for a girlfriend. And if some of them are attracted to you, they're gonna flirt with you twice as hard to get your attention. Yeah. Make them work for it just a little bit, see what's out there, play the field a bit. Don't be in a rush to jump into something too quickly. Yeah. That kind of goes for both sexes, really. I mean, if you're in a rush to get into a relationship and you rush into something, chances are you're not going to be very happy with it long term. I mean, if you're just down for short-term bullshit, that's your life, really, but I pretty much already meet the standard qualifications that most chicks would look for in a dude. I got my own place and I got a job. That's stability. You know what I'm saying? And the third thing I'm going to say is that if you're an attractive looking person, don't act like an egotistical jerk because of it. I've had people tell me I'm good looking all the time, but I don't act like a snobby asshole because of it. If anything, I'm below humble when it comes to acknowledging my attractiveness, but I'm seeing dudes around town way less attractive than me, got no fucking muscle on them, picking up some smoking hot chicks, and I'm like, dude, the fuck? That completely defies the status quo, doesn't it, YouTube? Indeed it does. And I'm looking at someone like myself, who's a prime specimen of human DNA, so to speak. Muscular, long hair, plays guitar, brooding musician, sort of bad boy type. The kind of thing that chicks are supposed to go gaga over. And yet, it seems to be somewhat more difficult for me. I could blame that on two things. One, my autism, and two, well, when you're an attractive bad boy musician, that can be intimidating to some women, and not necessarily intimidating in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, who's this dude? You know what I'm getting at, YouTube? So not necessarily intimidating in a bad way, intimidating in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you gotta have some confidence in yourself. I'm a hypocrite for saying that, I know I am, but don't have too much confidence, just enough to get you by at least. You know? And if shit's meant to happen, it'll happen. That's the funny thing about life, YouTube. It's unpredictable. You could go through like 3 to 4 months of just complete shit in your life, and then when you think you're about ready to just fucking give up, you have like a couple good months where shit starts to go right again, and shit gets back on track, you know? Yeah. Hang out at my buddy Scott's before I go back to work. I got a split shift today, and I got enough time to get to and from where I need to go. I'm not worried about that. And where do I work? None of your fucking business. That's where I work. I work in your mom's bedroom, fucking her all night long with this sweet king cobra between my legs. You know what's sad, YouTube? People are willing to pay money just to find out where I work so they can harass me. When you're willing to spend your hard-earned money just to harass some random person you don't even know, just because you don't like his videos, that seems kind of desperate on your half, doesn't it? Especially when it hasn't stopped me from making videos. Now, these people who obsessively hate on me need serious mental help. And that's coming from this guy. Me telling all my haters that they need serious mental help if they're that obsessed with hating on me. The socially awkward autistic telling a bunch of people they need mental help. That's fucking funny, isn't it, YouTube? Not all autistics are crazy, random, weird, whatever. It's just, you know, circumstance and society, I guess. Fuck Elliot Rogers. You know, if you got all these flashy ass fucking cars, and you're whining because you can't get laid, and you got all these flashy ass fucking cars, who the fuck wants to listen to some rich kid whining about his virginity when he's driving this fancy ass fucking BMW or what the fuck ever? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. Like, dude, if you can't get pussy and you're driving fancy ass cars, that's your problem. You know, I'm not driving around in no fancy ass goddamn car. And I've had sex with like 6 different women, just saying. And I'm willing to bet you that he could have bought a hooker for the money he spent on those handguns. He could have bought a fucking sex doll. He could have been done with it, you know. Or he could have been a bit more patient and waited. Because I guarantee you, YouTube, if Elliot Rogers would not have pulled that mass shooting like he did, and then killed himself, I'm willing to bet you if he would have said fuck all that bullshit and just focused on his studies or whatever and waited till he got out of college, he might have found somebody, you know, I don't doubt it. But when you got a society that's literally, the society we live in shuns you for sex and then at the same time sells it in like 95% of the advertising. Think about that for a second. And double standards are a bitch, YouTube. They really are. And they really are a bitch, YouTube. If a man gets a lot of sex and he's being safe with it, people call him, oh, look at that, he's a stud, haha, you know. But if a woman has lots of sex and she's being safe with it, she gets called names, and it's stupid. You know, it really is. You know, and really, when you look at it like that, that's the fucking truth, you know. If a woman's being safe and having lots of sex while being safe, and it's her life, she's old enough, it's consensual, whatever, you know, she gets called a slut and a whore and this and that, and it's disgusting. It really is just flat out fucking disgusting. But you take the same situation, you flip genders, and, you know, men are praised for the amount of sex they get. So there's a lot of pressure on men to go out there and fuck like jackrabbits. And if you ain't getting none, society makes you feel like a loser and a piece of shit, and an unattractive one at that, if you're not getting none. Oh, yeah. You think society doesn't pressure young people into relationships, and you think the pressure might be too much for some people? Look at Elliot Rogers. Fuck that piece of shit, man. If he would have had just a little bit more patience. And, like, seriously, if you can't get laid and you're driving around in fancy ass cars, what the fuck, dude? That's, like I said, that's his problem. You know? And if he hadn't pulled that mass shooting, I would have sympathized with him a little bit, because having Asperger's does suck. You know? And I have to live with the fact that I share the same disorder as that prick. And it's like, God damn it, dude. And what makes me feel better is knowing that Albert Einstein had Asperger's. There's a lot of good people who have it, you know what I'm saying? You can't really focus on the bad apples all the time. That's just, you know, the fucking honest truth of it. Well, Albert Einstein was a smart motherfucker, too, let me tell you. People thought he was retarded when he was in school, but then he got out of school and was like, whoa, holy shit. Dating is a lot like playing an instrument, a musical instrument. You know, you're not going to get good at a musical instrument overnight. That takes dedication and patience. And dating is a lot like playing the guitar in that aspect. You're not going to find the right one overnight. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? You got to be patient enough to deal with all the bullshit. It's a nice fine summer afternoon. Fucking 94 degrees. It's hot as fuck outside. Right on. But if I got the patience to get better at guitar, then dating ain't shit. Also, one other piece of advice: dating is a lot like a job interview, if you will. You know, why should this girl go out with you when she's got 10 other fucking guys that would gladly fuck her in a heartbeat that she'd rather go out with? You know, what's gonna make you stand out amongst 10 other dudes that she could easily have? And that really applies to both sexes when you think about it. If you're a chick, why should he date you when he's got 20 other broads that would fucking slob him to death and then some? what's going to make you stand out amongst the 20 other chicks. And the fucked up truth of it is, YouTube, is humans are competitive. Humans are just competitive by nature. It's literally everywhere. It's not just in advertising, but it's also individually with each person. Some people are more competitive than others. And sometimes it's over stupid shit like, oh, my subs are louder than your subs. Oh yeah, my car is louder than your fucking car. You know, some women get crazy competitive over stupid shit, you know, like over guys and shit, and it's just stupid. You're spending your short, miserable lives on this planet with petty shit. Really. Catch you later, tubes.